TMF, and we have the 100 Club today. Great referrals and experiences have come from what we've had. I know Boots to Roots has, they presented the first time, and I just wanted to share a quick story, and then Bill is going to. They've talked about, finding jobs for, and Ron's here from Boots to Roots, bringing jobs, connecting business owners with veterans that are coming back, and there's a Coast Guard veteran down in Texas right now. We've been connected. He loved being here in Maine, and then because of housing issues, he had to go down south. We had a great Zoom with him, Bryce and I, connected him with Skylar, who's the only vetted VA lender in New England, and it's just working together and coming together. And so hoping, he has a master MBA in engineering, or in MBA at project engineering, and just looking for employment up here. And Bryce and I are trying to work on housing for him. So it's just really connecting people in this room together to help veterans and first responders. And Phil, you can share your story about.
Yeah, that's a perfect segue. So something else that we did with BizNet for Vets, for Boots to Roots, we actually did a 50-50 draw at the Maine Celtics game. We showed up and had the opportunity to, represent Boots to Roots and help run the crowd for as much money as we could possibly get out of their pockets.
You did pretty well.
Yeah, for a night that wasn't a packed house, we did pretty good. But on top of that, the last time we were here, we had one of the gentlemen from the Travis Mills Foundation PATH program. It ended up being a smaller group. There was, at that same time, we had a lot of sicknesses and people just happened to be out. But I think we passed 15 referrals that single day to them. And I know personally, I reached back out to the PATH group just to find out where potentially those referrals had led. It kind of blew my mind to find out that they were struggling to get into even the Auburn, Lewiston Fire Department, Police Department, and because of a contact that I had, I just simply passed to them, warmed up the contact, let them know that these guys were going to be reaching out. They've sat down and it has spread to multiple other referrals since then. So this whole process, if anybody in here isn't specifically connected in networking and doesn't know how it works, you never know who the guy next to you, the woman next to you knows. They may not even be in their realm of work, but they know somebody. And it is amazing how quickly one quick contact can turn into, a very large donation or business that happens. And so being in this room, having the chance to sit in here is an opportunity for all of us to start connecting with other nonprofits that do the same things we do, have a vetted space where everybody in here knows that when you talk about what you're talking about, it's going to be referred to somebody that you trust. It's somebody you're building a bond with. So we appreciate everybody coming in here, and that's exactly what we're here for today. So, getting a chance, like she said, to see everybody networking at the very beginning, it's exactly why we're here, so thank you.
Yeah, it's all about being mission-based. We all get into business because we want to grow business, but we also want to improve our communities. So Business for Vets, that is a big part of it, connecting first responders, veterans, and then business owners that we may not be veterans ourselves, but we cherish and respect that community and want to build it up. I'm the wife and the daughter of a veteran, so it's really important to me as well. A big thing, oh, my computer died. So, a couple resources that we have for you guys. Our private Facebook group, get in there, get joined into that. As you guys can see, it's not dead. Beautiful. So, kind of this way. But essentially, get involved with our Facebook group. We have post a bunch of stuff about these upcoming events. We do this monthly. It also is a way for you guys to see other people that are also mission-driven and really want to help their businesses through these type of connections. Post events that you have, things that you're doing in your communities, events that you have going on. And the second piece, which is kind of the linchpin, these events are where we meet face-to-face, but Bryce also put a ton of work into our website. So our website that's getting launched, you can post different offers you have, you can post articles you have, you can post your businesses, you can post different people that are connected to your businesses in different locations. It is so incredibly powerful. It's not just a website where you can see other people, but it's also a website where you can really highlight your business and all the things that you're doing. So keep an eye out for that. I think to get started, we're going to introduce everyone in the room. You're all going to get kind of 60 seconds to talk about a couple different parts of your business. what you do, and kind of what you're hoping to get out of this community.
Yeah, so like she said, it's gonna be 60 seconds. Everybody go around, tell us what your name is, what your business is, and what specifically it is that you have for an ask or a referral that you're specifically looking for. What could help us drive business to your business? Tim, you want to start us off?
Sure.
Okay.
Tim Nichols with Embers Plaza Hope. This is Halligan. We offer mental health support to veterans, first responders by going into police stations, fire stations, hospitals, veteran facilities, and homes with our therapy dog. We also offer mental health classes, as well as peer support and critical incident stress management responses. Our ask for recently has been for a connection with Bill Dodge Auto Group, either with Stacy or Win Dodge. Again, my name is Tim Nichols at Embers Plaza Hope.
Hi there, I'm Tamara Stockwell. My business is called 𝐀𝐻𝐈𝐒. It's massage therapy and yoga instruction. I began by volunteering after 25 years of teaching. I started volunteering for the Travis Mills Foundation and found that it's not only the veterans that need support, but also their families. And so I really enjoy and have reached out and tried to build a business around that. I'm up in the Manchester area. Manchester's just in Maine, not New Hampshire. And that's up near Augusta. And so part of what I'm looking for is referrals up that way. Nice to see all of you here. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is 𝐂𝐕𝐄𝐈𝐒. I'm a practicing attorney. Bill sent me an invitation, and I came without really knowing what to expect, but I thought it might be, after he explained it a little bit, I thought it was important. I'm not specifically looking for any ask, but what I do is I represent individuals and small businesses, from startups to helping them operate their business, make sure they don't get into any trouble, and when they do, I help them get out of it. I do estate planning. That includes wills, power of attorneys, advanced health care directives, living wills. So I help people manage their business and anticipate what happens when they're not able to do that. So that's what I do, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about what I can do to help.
Hello everyone, I'm Don Morgan from Boots to Roots, and both as a member from the staff of Boots to Roots and a veteran, I'd like to say thank you. I really appreciate the support you provide to us, both not just as veterans, but the Boots to Roots. So, Boots to Roots is a nonprofit veteran service organization that provides transition assistance to service members who are leaving the military and veterans who would like to come here. And we also work with their spouses too. So we provide them with assistance with finding work. We do a lot of preparation with helping them prepare for the job search, getting them connected to resources to help them find a home, get connected to veterans resources that are available to them in the state, to the VA. Just all over, let them know that there's a community up here of veterans and folks who want to help veterans that are there for them. So,
Thank you.
I didn't know we were being timed. That's good. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris White, founder of 𝐀𝐁𝐈𝐒 Insurance Associates. We provide Medicare education and pretty much senior products, and we limit it at that. We don't do any other type of insurance, just helping seniors navigate the Medicare maze, helping them pick a direction if it's appropriate. My dad was a veteran. He served all 4 years in Korea. He spent time in Guam, and then he ended up at Limestone Air Force Base. So one extreme to the other, but he loved it. And I like providing education. Like Brianna, there are special Medicare plans that complement VA coverage and TRICARE for life. So we just like to be able to, bring those ideas out, let people ask questions. When I'm providing Medicare education to different groups and associations, veterans always ask questions. So I can be a resource like Brianna for veterans, their families, and anyone else who has questions about Medicare.
Perfect timing. Thank you.
My name's Jeff Decker. I work alongside Bryce and Julie at EXP. I'm the vice commander, post 13. Did 4 years in the Marine Corps. I'm here just kind of learning and figuring out whether the post can help or you can help the post. So getting to know everybody.
Thank you.
My name is Peter Joyce, and I'm a retired Portland police officer. I've got a company, 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒, and what I do is I teach life safety skills to civilians and cops. Over the 26 years that I served at Portland, I talked to a lot of victims. And a lot of those victims, if they had some training, some knowledge, they might not have been those victims. So we do everything from basic weapon training to advanced house of worship training, active shooter training, and it's the skills and the knowledge that works. It's not some of the stuff that's pushed out there that there's no way it's going to help when your body is under stress. It's not going to work. SIT would love to help and put some competitions on to raise money for the cause.
Thank you.
So we're interested in working together.
Well, thank you very much. And SRT is going to be our next month presenter here on April 10th. So he's graciously agreed to that. So thank you, Peter, for that.
You're welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Bryce. Not Bryce Davis, obviously. Bryce York with the Maine Celtics. As Bill said, we've done 50-50, money raising for nonprofits like this group, like Boots to Roots, stuff like that. That's something I can help with, but also just really trying to get involved with this group, see where else I can help personally, but also professionally. I'm just over a year and a few months at the Maine Celtics, but access to a lot of different networks, resources. So happy to help wherever I can, whether it's making the Maine Celtics money or not. I just want to help. So really excited to get to know people in here and kind of start, just learning about all of you and helping however I can. Very pleased that I met Bryce and Julie, kind of on an unrelated thing, but now here we are. So yeah, Bryce York with the Maine Celtics.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Brie Grant, owner of SB Taylor Transport, a local moving company. I wanted to talk today more about my history. I've been a CNA for 18 years this month with the Maine Veterans Home. I have cared for veterans who had acclimated to leaving their home and downsizing into assisted living facilities. My request today is to be connected with those folks that are going through those transitions because I understand it on a deeper level and I can help walk with them through those transitions, holding their hand, crying with them, moving their things. It's very intimate. It's a very scary thing to lose everything. We walk through estate sales and cleanouts. We do full-on moves, packs, white glove deliveries. Everything is done with care and compassion and understanding that what these folks are going through is a major life change. So if you know anybody who's moving, especially veterans, Brie Grant, SB Taylor Transport.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Diana London with Primerica. I'm a financial advisor, but I'd actually like to not even worry about that part. I'm here for the community in bringing the veterans that really need the services, or maybe they know other veterans that really need the service. Bill was awesome to be able to invite me, and then I was actually able to invite another veteran in hopes that if it didn't help him, he knew others that it could help. So really, I'm just here to bring more people so that the veterans can be served, which is a very underserved community. Tim is a great friend of mine. We've done a lot with Tim, so I'm just here as a support liaison.
Thank
Diamond
you.
Primerica.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Skylar Welch with Maine Pointe Lending. I help people purchase homes, but I am very passionate about the VA community. I'm the only better VA lender in New England, which means I've gone through years and years and years of extensive training to be sure that we are providing the best options for people to purchase homes. But on the other side of that, I work really hard to make sure that the veterans loans are getting accepted. It's a competitive market out there, and sometimes when people are up against a conventional loan, they may say, oh, that's a better option. I've worked in this community for over 15 years, and people know that if I tell them the deal's going to go through, it's going to go through. So I take time to call every single listing agent and make sure that they know that this borrower is qualified, that we can get this deal done, and that they earn the right to use this loan. So that's really important. I recently just had a client come and had 15 offers made with another lender. They didn't have their back. I took over and got their offer accepted and got them into a house in less than 3 weeks. So that's what I'm looking for, is those people that are looking for that type of service. Thank you.
Thanks for you guys. Bill invited me. First time here. My name is 𝐂𝐕𝐄𝐳𝐓. I do merchant services. I really want to help out business owners with their merchant, being able to take credit cards. I have great rates, low fees. This is an industry that can be a lot of deeper, probably like the mortgage industry, where they make a lot of promises and don't follow through. I hand out my cell phone. I'm available 24/7, and that's like for anybody that's starting a business.
Thank you. So, my name is Brianna Henward. I'm the owner-operator of Tyndon Health and Wealth. We help, like Chris was saying, people, veterans specifically, when they get on Medicare. So when you turn 65, veterans have earned their Medicare coverage just as much as they've earned their VA coverage and their TRICARE coverage. And even if they choose not to use their Medicare, they need to know how the options work. And that's kind of what we do. We kind of go over all the different options with them, and whatever path they take, fantastic. There was not enough people out there doing what me and Chris do, because there's a lot of questions about healthcare. So if you have someone that has questions on it, this is a great way to get those answers in a non-biased aspect. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My name is Andrew Henward. I am married to Brianna. I am a fiduciary, independent wealth manager, and retirement planner. And I'm also a veteran. If you work for the government, you know that nobody handles the dollar more efficiently and carefully than the U.S. government. So, that being said, you want someone who's actually going to take care of you in retirement and actually try and put your dollar to work as hard as you work for it, then we want to be that person, we want to be that resource, and we want to put that money to work for you.
Thank
you. Morning, Mark Karen, Pine Tree Home Watch. What I do is I conduct interior and exterior inspections of homes that are owned by out-of-staters, waterfront homes that are, or snowbirders that are unoccupied during the wintertime. So I just started it this year. Also, I'm a retired Marine and disabled veteran, and it's good to be able to come here because oftentimes it's very difficult to ask for help. We're programmed to just put things away and leave it there. So I have found that there's a lot of resources out here, and I appreciate coming here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Magalski with the 100 Club of Maine. You're going to hear from me shortly, so I'm deferring.
And I'm Scott Mountford with the 100 Club, so you'll probably get tired of hearing me.
About Bryce and I didn't add that every transaction we do, we give back to veterans and first responders. So if anyone knows anyone who's looking to buy or sell or invest, feel free to reach out to Jeff Decker, Bryce, or I. So thank you.
And I am Bill Merchant. I am the co-founder of a nonprofit organization by the name of Revolution Fitness. We specifically focus on military personnel and first responders, and we work with physical, nutritional, and mental wellness. In the large scope of things, we're hoping to also be able to include the initial family because we know that the injuries and trauma that go on through military and first responder services extends beyond the person that's involved in that. It also extends to the initial family. So if you know any veterans or first responders at this point in time that are struggling with life, aren't really sure how to get things moving again, our whole entire process is to build camaraderie around them, let them know that we are veteran owned as well, and that we understand exactly where they're coming from and that they do not have to feel alone.
And I did want to thank Skylar for letting us use the space for our office, and thank you. And we will now hand it over to our presenters from the 100 Club. So thank you.
How are you doing today? I'm Mike Magalski, as I said. I'm the Vice President and one of the founding board members of the 100 Club of Maine. And I'd like to thank you all for giving us the opportunity to speak here today. And I'd like to thank BizNet for vets.
Thank you, yes.
And I'd like to thank Julia and Bryce. You can tell them when you get home.
I will. Thank
I'd
you.
like to thank Maine Pointe Lending and Skylar and Meg, for the use of the facility, and thank you very much. You got the largest bathroom in Maine, I think. And Peter Joyce, I'd like to thank Peter's a friend, and without you mentioning to Bryce and Julie, I don't think we'd be here today. So thank you very much for speaking up. And you probably wonder what the 100 Club of Maine is. The 100 Club of Maine, there's 100 clubs around the country, and they were started in 1952, believe it or not, in Detroit, when a Detroit police officer was killed, fatally shot in the line of duty. They went, and the largest Pontiac dealer over there in the nation, the owner, came forward and says, hey, I think we need to do something. Because in a lot of these instances, you know, when you're 28, 30 years old, you have 2 young kids, you don't really plan for, you know, death at that age, and maybe you're mortgaged out at that age. And when you lose the primary breadwinner, it could be devastating for the family. And so he came forward and he went to 100 of his friends who were business owners in Detroit and said, we have to do something. And they collected money, and basically they paid off the mortgage of the officer's house. They sent the kids through school, the unborn children. They set up a fund to send any children to college. They went and they did a few other things, and they had $7,000 left over that they gave her in an account to kind of get her through the rough spot. So the 100 Club was born in Detroit. It then had 100 clubs pop up, doing similar things throughout the country. Boston started 100 Club, Massachusetts in 1959. You know, you had a 100 Club in New Hampshire. They were, you know what year they were started? Yeah. They were started years ago also. Connecticut, Maine never had a 100 Club. Okay, and so we went, and Scott was talking to some of the board members in New Hampshire, and the idea came up and said, hey, why don't you guys get one going here in Maine? And so what we did was you have to set some credibility. I look at my background real quick. I was the in-charge agent of the U.S. Secret Service here in Maine for 18 years. I retired after 30 years with the U.S. Secret Service, and I'm a lifetime member of the Maine Chiefs of Police, and so I know a lot of the law enforcement people here in the state. And so Scott came to me, and you know, we're talking, and I said, hey, we need to get the approval of like the Maine Chiefs of Police, the Maine Sheriff's Association, to let people know that we're a legitimate organization. And so our first year, you know, that's kind of what we did. You know, we went to the Maine Chiefs, they gave us their full endorsement, Maine Sheriff's Association full endorsement, and Scott, and he won't tell you this, but I'll brag a little bit about him. Scott went and used his personal funds to go and have attorneys set up our organization. We're a 501c3, and you know, all that kind of thing was you know, paid by Scott. And so the 100 Club of Maine came about. Problem is, it came about right when the state was shutting down because of COVID. Okay, so all our plans of events and things like that for 2 years, really, nobody really wanted to come to an event in 2021. They didn't want to come and get together and, you know, have a cocktail party. So what we did is we kind of put things on the back burner, and then, of course, in the last year and a half, we picked things up again. All right. So that kind of gives you some of the background. I give you one of our board members, and it hits kind of close to home. One of our board members, I don't know, you might know, Ed Tolan, who used to be the police chief in Falmouth. Ed retired, I think, time flies, probably 5-6 years ago now. Well, Ed is on our board. He grew up, when he was growing up, his father was killed in the line of duty as a fireman in Portland. All right, and if you ever hear him talk, he'll tell you how difficult it was for the family. And the mother had to work 2 jobs, and how difficult it was for the family to be raised in that kind of situation. And so, you know, it is I think for people that put their lives on the line, a small thing we could do. And Scott will tell you what we do for the people right now, you know, what the intentions are. But the way we kind of fund this is through corporate giving and through getting members. You know, if we get 500 to 1,000 members or 500 members paying $150 a year, which is the membership fee, that alone will fund, you know, the club. And hopefully, since we were formed, we haven't had a death on duty of any first responder here in Maine as of yet. So with that kind of funding, grassroots funding, we could provide this kind of service to the first responders. I'll stop right there because I want to let you know. We kind of said we want to give this presentation informally. So that kind of lays out the groundwork. But if you have any questions, if you want to interject, you're not gonna bother either one of us. All right. So it's nice if you have questions, please ask. Yeah.
Requirements for membership.
Just to give.
Okay, so you don't have to be a veteran or.
Don't have to be a veteran. You could be any concerned citizen, anything.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, we have different levels that you can give at.
Okay.
And I have a sheet here that we're going to pass out at the end.
People you support, or families you support, they have to have lost a member who is on duty?
On duty.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example, okay? If your department has a fitness program, okay? And on Sunday, your day off, you go to Planet Fitness or something, and you know, as you're working out, something happens physically, and you end up passing away. That wouldn't be on duty. It has to be an actionable thing. If you're chasing somebody through the backyard and you have a heart, that's an on-duty death. Okay? And you know, it's a point of contention because Ed Tolan was the executive director of the Maine Chiefs. And I kind of like to make it, you know, he says you got to make this clear because just putting names on the memorial of officers that die in the line of duty, there's questions like that constantly. Okay, so if you qualify for the memorial in Maine, you'll definitely qualify for the 100 Club. And it's up to our board to decide if it qualifies or not.
What kind of connections are you looking for outside of membership?
You know, I talked to Bryce and Julie, we had a little meeting, and our position is, hey, as long as we spread the word, it's a win for us. You know, we don't, you know, if people want to get involved and people want to be part of it and be members and be part of it, great. But the more people that know, and if you could spread the word, that's fantastic for us. Does that answer?
Yep.
I see all the veterans in here. I am the only male in my family from my dad's generation on, my brothers, my nephew, that didn't serve. I'm not a vet. I'm the only one. So don't hold that against me.
I'm not a vet either. We're both on the fire department for 12 years though, and I never even think of that when I come to these things.
But what I'd like to do now is, I'm the vice president of the 100 Club. I'd like to introduce Scott Mountford. He's the president and founding board member also of the 100 Club.
Thank you all very much for your time. I appreciate your ears. What we're looking for. Mike's too generous. I happen to do a lot of walking, so I always take my dog for a walk, and I always carry trash bags. So I'm able to collect a lot of cans along the side of the road. So I was able to take those cans and parlay it into paying for some of the things to start up. I'm a Maine resident, born and raised in Millinocket, Maine, where my grandfather served as chief of police, called him Wild Bill, one-hit Bill back in those days when the loggers would come out of the woods after being hibernated for a week or two or longer. First place they went to was to the bars to spend their money, and Big Bill would just take one hit, and then he'd drag him across the street from the bar to the jail cells. But he served the community for a long time. He retired. My uncle took over as chief of police. He served that community for quite a while. Left, went actually to Augusta, worked for the FBI for a while. I have a cousin who's a sergeant in Kittery, Maine. So I'm not an officer and I'm not a veteran. That stopped as I was old enough to serve the draft. But so I have a lot of passion for it. Well, I have a good friend in New Hampshire, Bob Preston, who was the president of the 100 Club. and we socialized and all, and he came up to me and said, Scott, Maine, we had just lost an officer in Bangor, Maine, just had get hit by a tire on the interstate up there. And he goes, he had a 6-month-old baby. He said, you've got to do something for the state. And I've been somewhat successful in business. And I've been through tragedies myself through life, like most people have. And my parents who are still alive at 91 and 92. My dad's still an Episcopal minister down in Sanford, Maine, Florida rather. So I was always taught to give back to the community, that your success stems on what you give back, and will be rewarded, when the day comes of what you do for the community. So I've been active in New York. I was the president of the foundation when we helped build a brand new library down there several years ago. Was part of the sesquicentennial celebration we had in New York. So I've always felt, you have to give back to the community is part of my faith. And so when this came upon me, then it was my time. I decided that it was time. I've been a cancer survivor for 48 years now. Knocked on wood. Treatments are still going good. But I decided, my life is short. My brother's life was cut short. My older brother, I lost my younger brother. So I said, I want to give something back to the community that not so much remembrance of me, but remembrance of a just good deed that was done. And I couldn't think of a better thing to do than start this 100 Club in the state of Maine. And it's been, there's been a lot of trials and tribulations if anybody's ever tried to start one. From websites to the lawyers to the 501c filings to, you can go on and on. Just the little things that just take a long time to do. Well, we were doing all this, as Mike said, in 2020, COVID hit. I mean, we had gone to Augusta to get approval from the various agencies there, which we did, hands down. And then it was like nobody would see us. So, we couldn't go out and promote anything. We had, like he said, so it wasn't just an event. I mean, one of the guys on the board is really close with the Bushes, and we were planning on a party celebration at the Bush compound. So we thought, man, this is going to be a good start for us until COVID hit, and then that kind of all fell through. So we're still like this, trying to grow and get our name out there. And again, appreciate so much the opportunity to come up here and explain who the 100 Club is, what our mission is, which basically a mission is to not forget the first responders. Now, he talks a lot about the police department, but it's also the fire departments that lose lives. Game wardens lose lives. So it's a variety of first responders. It's not just for the police. So the other 100 clubs, I mean, we're trying to get to the point. Boston has an account of $10 million in their account to help. And of course, they have a huge amount of people that they're paying out to for all this. New Hampshire has a $5 million bank balance in their budget to help fallen first responders. So our goal is just to get up where we can get to a point where our main goal is that we want to, if Mike's has 2 kids that are 15 years old, every year on their birthday, we want to send a birthday card with a little check in there saying, in remembrance of your father on this special day for you, you're not forgotten. For Christmas, we also want to do the same thing. Send them a card, that your father in spirit is here with you, that type of stuff. So, that sounds small, but our main goal really is to pay for their college education. I mean, granted, and I have this conversation with a lot of people. They're like, oh, if a state trooper gets killed, they get a $500 or $1 million policy from their insurance, and Ed was a kid because they got nothing. But that's good. That's a one-time. They've lost revenue for the rest of their lives if whoever's spouse has passed away. So our goal is to get to the point where we can send those, that they will know, that spouse will know, man, husband or wife, will know that their child is going to be taken care of with at least a college education. So that'd be one little thing that's left off in their mind to have to worry about raising kids. So that's our initial goal. I think the 100 Club in New Hampshire for 2 weeks sends the children to summer camp for 2 weeks of their choosing. If they want to go to badminton, if they want to go to a soccer camp, a sailing camp, whatever it might be. So we have a lot of ambitions that we want to build up to, but we're trying to raise money to get to that point. So we really can't even kick it off the ground until we do have, some money, if anybody's interested, which also sponsors the Travis Mills Foundation. But this is the York Police Association, which I'm friends with all of them, or a lot of them. Some of them don't like me, but they're doing their 3rd annual golf outing on September 8th this year at 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐒 Golf Club. And again, this year, they're splitting whatever they make with the 100 Club and then the Travis Mills Foundation also. So I thought that was nice of them. So we are getting out there doing this type of stuff. And again, we're just, Mike works, I used to work. Hopefully after today, I won't be, but only because I'm selling my business. Not because I got fired. But anyway, we need these kind of groups to help spread the word. Like Mike said, we've got a sheet of paper that we'll pass out for the memberships and kind of what we do. But I wanted to get out there and show why this started. It was a passion that I have with police officers more directly. But and I want to do something for this great state of Maine. I love. Again, I was born and raised in Millinocket. I raised up in a little town called Dover-Foxcroft. I still have a camp on 𝐸𝐵𝐒 Lake up there. And I love the state of Maine. I love the people in the state of Maine. I lived in Texas for a while. I lived in Florida for a while. But your roots always come back home to where your heart is the biggest. And my heart's always the biggest in the state of Maine. So I'm in hopes to make sure that I leave something behind for others, unfortunate people, that can have the benefits from all of it. So, any questions? I've taken enough here.
Actually, I got a question. What have you guys looked into so far as grants go that can support you guys? And do you have a grant writer already?
No, we do not. We have not looked at that avenue yet.
Let's talk.
All right. Matter of fact, just to let you know, everybody who works on the 100 Club things, treasurer, me, Scott, everybody, we're total volunteers. We have no one that ever took a paycheck. Matter of fact, even our expenses, except for a small couple of things, maybe the pins, we've had board members donate money, to Xerox things and copies. So really, anything now coming in goes right to the endowment. And so, just to let you know.
You might have said this and I might have missed it. What does membership look like right now in terms of numbers?
You know what? I tried to get that number, and I don't have it. But I would say that we're around 100. That includes lifetime members and members. All right. And I think we realized the one thing we were having some issues with our pay system through the website, and we just corrected that. But just to let you know, it's down right now because we're switching companies with 𝐂𝐕𝐄𝐳. We're switching companies. Sorry. You're about too late. But we went and so right now, if you try to pay online, it's going to be down for about 2 weeks till we get up with the new company. But we had some issues like that we had to straighten out, and right now we're in full swing to get members.
Yeah, we are a 501c3 company, which took a while. We thought we were, and then come to find out we weren't. And so again, we had to get lawyers back involved, which that's what it's just get this done. I don't care what it costs. We need to get this done. So we had problems with our website. Webmaster we thought was ours, and then he wouldn't give us the password. And so, like anything, starting from the ground up, nobody knowing anything about a foundation or starting that type of organization. We had, learning blocks, and of course, then COVID was a block that hit us. So, but we're in full swing, 100% up and running now, coming up with new literature and brochures, that kind of stuff, and working very hard on trying to find members that are interested in giving back to the state of Maine. So it's not just local, it's the whole state.
And to let you know, the trooper who was killed by the tiger, it was before that we were established.
But that's what initiated me to get it going.
But the board, we've given an award of $1,000 to that family, and we keep it in the back of our mind because the board wants to do something down the road, you know. But it's something that we don't, you know. It was before we were established, but we still have them in our sites to let you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, and we haven't had, thank goodness, we haven't had another. Yeah, and then we're aware that in case there's a tragedy, say there's a huge fire or something with 7 people, we have some outrageous tragedy, we have to be in a position to have the funds to cover what we say we do, and we're just, you know, we're close to doing it, but we are paying for things that they've come up right now.
Do you have a social media or newsletter?
Do we have to do anything?
Do you have social media or a newsletter?
We do not have a newsletter, and
Facebook.
Social media, we're on Facebook.
Great.
Sounds like you need a newsletter volunteer.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
It's not me.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Our secretary treasurer would love
I'm
it.
better at connections than that. Have you been into any, like, have you physically gone into police departments, fire departments, and spread the word there? Because I've got to imagine all of those guys are going to be like membership.
Well, I'll tell you, there's, and I could answer that question. Current police officers, they could be associate members. Okay, there's a reason for that, and it's $50 a year, you know, $50 a year, but you're associate member. Also, police departments have to be careful. There is a law in Maine where they can't solicit funds. You know, if we have police officers going out and soliciting for us and to donate to this, it could be a violation of one of Maine's laws. And they did it years ago. I guess they were soliciting for, like, professor for dogs or something. And somebody didn't like that police were asking for money for their equipment. So they made a law that they have. So policemen have to be very careful in soliciting things.
But to answer your question,
There's a lot of current guys, officers or firefighters that really don't like to think about that.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to get them to donate to anything. I've got a Facebook page that we fought the appeal for weapon GPO. So if you ever received a Maine State retirement pension, then when you file for Social Security, you only got a third of what you put into it after you retired and build your bodies. And then the GPO is if you have a loved one that passed away, if you're getting a pension, private pension, you don't get any spousal death benefits. And so we fought that. The fight's been going on for 4 years, and we finally got that, those laws. But we tried for the last 5 years to get active cops involved and firefighters involved in that, and they don't want to think about it. They're living in the moment, so it's hard to raise money
Looking at the other 100 clubs throughout the country that are just flourishing, their membership, the corporate memberships kind of is their solid rock, the corporate memberships from that state, and then the members themselves, that grassroots effort of that donations every year, fully funds, and you can see the endowments. Just from what we're saying, that's what we're asking is what Boston and New Hampshire sets it at, and look at what their funds are. Their endowments in New Hampshire, $6 million they have already.
I don't think there's any reason you guys can't get to that.
Right. So,
no, we don't either. And to answer your question even more specifically, I have been ready to go out and canvass every county in the state of Maine for the firefighters and the policemen to let them know who we are, but not to really, it's not going out to solicit any monies from them, but it's to make them aware of our organization. Of course, they might have relatives and friends. I mean, my parents, as old as they are, donated $1,000 to be a lifetime membership. And I told them they might not outlive the membership, but they keep living every year, so maybe they will. But I do plan on going around just to pass the word out there, because a lot of people, I was with a state trooper this weekend snowmobiling up in Island Falls, and he had not heard of the Hunter Club.
I have a camper by there in Sherman. So
Oh, yeah?
Island Falls is an awesome area.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
I'll talk to you guys after. We are, I'm a wife of a Portland firefighter. We're having an event in September. You guys can absolutely come and
Super.
set up a
Great.
table and let's educate. And I'm also part of the Portland Wives for the spouses of firefighters for Portland. So I'm in a forum. Let's host a happy hour.
That's exactly.
Perfect. We love that.
Some wine and-
Those are the very
yeah.
successful events that we have.
Yeah, so let's check in after.
Thank you, Brad.
Great, this is why we do this, love that. Got the chills, I think, committed, we're all business owners, committed, dedicated people that wanting the best for others and helping others and creating awareness, thank you guys for what you do and what you brought to the state of Maine, so we appreciate that very much.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions or anything? We'd love to have, if you want to leave business cards out there, leave business cards. We're gonna pass these around there, thank you, but we'd love comments. If you guys have someone that you'd like to bring in some month to present, again, SRT Concepts is gonna be April 10th next month with Peter Joyce. And we'd like to keep doing this every month, and so we'd love to, we're passing these around. We'll also put them on our website, biznetforvets.com. And if people want to join our Facebook group, certainly feel free to do that too, Biznet for Vets. Right? Absolutely. So feel free to write a comment or anything. And feel free to mingle. We have some more time.
There's fresh pot of coffee I just made. And cookies, yeah.
Where you guys are. From political people or any of that stuff, what it matters, or people that might do that.
You know Jason Mills?
Everybody's our friend.
Okay. So exactly what you up in that.
Jason.
Where's the other one there?
Oh, Jason.
Okay.
Brazilian responder.
Yeah. If you give me your card, I can do an introduction.
There we go.
It turns into eventually things come back.
Yeah, he's in the Augusta area.
Okay, perfect. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have your card?
Yep.
Take care.
Do you work with nurses too?
I